show everybody. Make light, make lively.
Yeah, sparkle.
I don't speak unless the words hold weight. I don't force the door, I know to wait. I've been shaped by things that break most souls. Walked through the dark and still came home. Roots don't show, but they hold the tree. Roots don't show, but they carry me. When the storm comes knocking at my door, I go deeper than I've been before. You can't leave, I'll still be there. Don't fold when everything is wet. I find ground beneath the ground and stay. I don't count what loving costs my chest. I just show up. I let that be the test. Roots don't show, but they hold the tree. Roots don't show, but they carry me. When the storm comes knocking at my door, I go deeper than I've been before. You can't leave, I'll still be there. You won't see it in the way I stand. You'll only feel it when you need a hand. The weight don't scare me. It made me who I am. Roots don't show, still here, still rooted, still yours.
Okay.
Hey, that has a nice energy to it.
You know, it's all about being a survivor, and that is the roots don't show, right? So be able to check that out on Kimmy. That is what we were listening to.
Yeah.
Let me see if I
cool.
can get the actual name. Roots
Yeah.
Don't Show, Kimo Sounds, Kimo Sounds. Check him out. Emotional Afro House. Thank you so much
I
for
like
that.
the energy of it.
I
It's a
like
great
the
way to
energy
start the show.
too. I like the
Yeah.
energy. I wanted to do something uplifting because boy, do we have an intense show today, as I'm sure you're.
Yes.
Well, you
We
get
do.
the you get the show notes, and I feel like, excuse me,
Yes.
maybe we bit off more than we could.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. I've been doing my research. I have notes here all over the place. So we're just
Yeah,
going to see what
yeah.
happens. We're
So
on
how
live
was your
without a safety net.
weekend? As
Oh,
people find their way to the stream, how you doing? How's your week been?
I'm doing pretty good. Been doing work for you, work for myself. I've been doing art. Ever since we got back from Rome, I've been so inspired to get back into my drawing and painting.
Hmm.
So I'm doing a lot of that right now, just a lot of sketching. I had a little bit of news. There was a portrait that I did of Cher a
Oh, I
couple
saw
years
it.
ago. She just had her 80th birthday. I posted it on Facebook. Well, a friend of mine where she works encounters Cher's best friend, and she called it to her attention, and the friend loved it and said, "Oh, I'm sending this to Cher." So I haven't heard back, but apparently Cher did see my portrait of her.
Oh, that's lovely. We live in a
Isn't that kind of
small
sweet?
world.
Yeah, it is a small world.
And of
In
course,
LA, it's a usual world,
and of course, Chuck and I recently got back from Europe. We spent quite a bit of time in Europe, and
2 weeks.
I'm wondering, did you feel as a result of all those experiences, you came away seeing all that amazing art? Did you
Mhm.
feel like, gosh
Yeah,
darn it, this inspires me to dedicate more of my life to my work as
very
an
much
artist?
so. Well, we both agreed it was a big spiritual journey for us, and it's not just the actual sites, it's the energy, it's the soul of those cities, those sites, it's all of the collective history. And in a place like
Excuse me.
Rome or Florence, you've got literally some of the greatest pieces of art on the planet Earth by some of the greatest masters of all time. You're just surrounded with it. I don't see how you can't be affected by that.
Hmm. Did it
Yeah.
inspire you to do better?
Oh, yes.
Hmm.
Oh, yes. To always strive for more, to always strive to be better.
Right. And that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about this idea of knowing the difference between the noise and the signal. The noise and the signal. And one of the reasons
Yeah.
why Chuck and I have done some, this trip was kind of a spiritual renaissance trip for us as well. We kind of got
Yeah.
back to our roots. Interesting that the Roots Don't Show was today's theme song, but
Yes.
we got back to our roots of being healthcare providers. We're both
Hmm.
licensed, and we've kind of dedicated our life to that path and being artists as well.
Hmm.
And
We had some
my
great
thing,
conversations.
yeah,
It
we
was
had some
wonderful to have
really
one-on-one time together. Even just being in the taxi cab together, or being on the train, being on the bus,
watching
having
me get
breakfast together.
sick and be mad. I was in such a grumpy mood because I couldn't go on. Chuck would come back, and I was green with envy because I was sitting there.
Oh,
He'd
and that
say,
was
"Well, I
never
went to Florence today and a
that was never my
focaccia and
intention.
wine." And no, I was
I
very
felt
happy
bad
for
about
you.
that.
But when your body gets, when you're having those
Well, I
challenges.
think we both, as you said the other day, we both found out we're not 18 years old anymore. We were
Mm.
pretty exhausted by, say, 8 or 9 o'clock that night. We were like old folks who needed to get to bed.
Yeah, I mean, I did do some serious walking around. I made it to the Jewish ghetto, but unfortunately, I
Yeah.
went on Saturday when everything was closed. I got myself a nice schnitzel.
Mm.
It
You
was
sent a
nice.
picture.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Chuck, can you do us the honors of saying hi to
Sure.
everyone who
I,
has decided to join us today?
well, I would love to do the honors because it is the honors. So we have Debbie-P9J. Oh, and of course, our fabulous Joel Tilson, our excellent floor
Hi.
director. Rebecca
Did you
L
miss?
one three five.
Did you miss Gigi Pardo Lord? She was at the
I
top.
Oh, she was at the top. I thought I went to the top. Oh, forgive me. Oh, and Gigi. I consider her a friend. Forgive me, Gigi. Gigi
Yeah, go.
Pardo.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay. Try this
Okay,
again. Yes. Hello, Gigi
I'm at
Pardo.
the top. I'm at
Hi,
the top now.
everybody. We're
It's
going
been
through the names.
it's been a weird energy day to day.
Yeah.
We can talk about that later. Hardstyle Mofo 13.
Hello.
Jeremy Rodney. Desire 35 Abel. Christy Price, 9769. Rockin' Pony Lady. The Heidi Christensen.
Hi, Heidi. Good to see you here.
Dennis is, oh gosh, I don't know how to pronounce this. Dennis is Ufango 1513. I'm so sorry if I mangled your name there. Donna Williams. Go through some other names here. Galactic Gale, Greta Dow, Christy Beverly, 9345, who's asking if the cat's back to normal. Yeah, she's doing much better. She's sleeping over here in the corner right now. And that's what we have for the moment here. I hope I said
Rebecca Callie 135. Did you say hi to her? Rebecca Callie 135.
Yes, I believe
and
I
Desiree
did.
35 Abe. Okay, great.
Yes,
and
we'll
I see
keep Nancy
saying,
Potter Johnson here. Hello.
Oh, great. We'll keep saying hi. Oh, something very loud going on outside. We'll keep saying hi to people as we go along. And unfortunately, Carolina Montague, who was scheduled for her interview for her book, there must be a fire somewhere. Wow. Do you hear that?
Oh, I hear it. Yeah.
So unfortunately,
we
will have to delay the interview with Carolina Montague, Door in the Sky. She will be with us hopefully next week. She had a previous appointment that she couldn't avoid. And so, alas, we will look forward to seeing her next week. We have delayed the book, which is good because I've been reading through it very, very slowly. But it's kind of interesting. The start of the book, Door in the Sky, for those of you who haven't started it yet, I find it very disturbing because it really is aspects that I can relate to. You know, it's a young girl whose mother has died. You know, if you grew up motherless or lose your mother when they're young, and she's having nightmares. And the doctors of the time saw it as a spiritual attack. So they were like putting garlic all over her. And then she goes outside. Her father is the head of this kingdom. He's one of the main lords or whatever. She goes outside to try and go close to the pond, and maybe, you know, she's supposed to make the sign of the cross on the pond for protection. These are the ideas people believe like back then. But instead, she gets assaulted by a group of men. It's just like, oh my God, you know, like, then she gets rescued. But the point is that it really brings home, as soon as the story of the Door in the Sky, as soon as it gets started, how incredibly dangerous the world is for females, particularly young females. And that's the first thing I took away from this book. And so it's going to be just that the world is a dangerous place. And we humans don't treat each other very well.
No,
and
it's astounding the cruelty that still exists in this world.
It reminds me of stories of the author, the anthropologist. I believe her name is Mary Beard. Do you all know Mary Beard?
I'm not familiar myself.
Mary Beard, she is a leading expert on antiquity, on Roman history. And she spoke and lectured extensively on Roman history. But she was not classically beautiful. And so for that reason, because she was not classically beautiful, she was harassed via social media repeatedly. And part of that harassment campaign was people were telling her she was ugly. They were telling her, they were threatening to kill her. They were threatening to rape her. And all she was a professor teaching Roman history. And she was also on the BBC for quite some time. Sorry, I just finished eating my dinner. And I thought I should not have eaten before I went live. But that is the story of Mary Beard. I believe her name is Mary Beard. Let's see. Yes, Mary Beard. So what we can learn when we look at stories like the book of the month that we're reading, which is Door in the Sky, and when we look at the life of somebody like Mary Beard, is that the voice of women is silenced. And they threatened to kill her. They threatened to rape her. They said they were going to chop her into pieces. Meanwhile, all she was a professor that was teaching Roman history. And because she didn't look, the hypersexualization of women And this idea that women need to be silenced, shut up, and sing.
Yeah.
You don't have a right to open your mouth. A man will tell you when to open your
That's
mouth.
astounding.
And this is the way that Mary Beard was treated. And instead of curling up in a ball and being raped by social media and disappearing, instead she handled it the way only an academic could. She documented it and then went into an academic research mode on the history of men silencing the voice of women. And she goes all the way to Penelope being silenced in Homer's Odyssey, where the suitors are clanging, bang, bang, and singing. They've taken over her house. She's waiting for her husband to return. And the suitors are like they're going to come and take her house and force her into marriage. And she goes downstairs, Penelope, and she says, "Could you keep the noise down?" And her son yells at her and says, "It's none of your damn business, the noise we make." I paraphrase. It's a man's job to speak. And it's your job to shut up and engage in the business of women. Like, get your ass back upstairs, woman. And this is the son talking to the mother. And so she is informed that she must remain silent. And so that was, she was presented on the BBC, a program discussing, history, Homer's Odyssey. Penelope comes downstairs to ask a bard to stop singing a particular song because it upsets her. Her son, Telemachus, who is barely an adult, tells her, "Mother, go back upstairs and tend to your own task. Speech will be the business of men." And so she documents this history of the silencing of women, silencing the screams of women. We've certainly seen that with this current administration, where women are being silenced, and his victims, the screams of his victims, both male and female, have been silenced. And this is something that immediately the author Carolina Montague goes into. We of course will go more into this phenomenon, but what I take away in a nutshell from the book is that things have not changed. We are still burning witches.
Because this was in the 13th century.
Right. We are still silencing women. We are still doing this. We're now what they did to Hillary Clinton. I analyzed her medical records and said she wasn't dying. I was attacked. I was called an idiot. I was, fix your teeth. People were attacking my dental, because I used to have crooked teeth. I did fix them.
And they look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. That cost me about $40,000. Yes.
I remember.
It was not worth it. That's my feeling about that. But the point is that no, because who cares?
Well, I thought you were perfect just as you were.
Oh,
well, it's true.
Sweet.
It's true. But your teeth are pretty. But yes.
Oh, thank you. It made me feel better, but I don't think I would go and spend that amount of money today on teeth. I didn't know it was going to cost that much. I thought it was going to cost a lot less. And then once I signed everything,
once they lure you in, there's no turning back.
I thought it was going to be like a fourth of that, and still that was going to be a lot. But that's a down payment on a condo. You know. What I'm saying?
No, I know. It's all in your mouth. You might as well.
My retirement is in my mouth.
Your face is your fortune. Your face is your fortune, literally. But
I hope you'll be able to join us. Speaking of retirements, I'll be taking a trip to Georgia, the country of Georgia, to Beasley, and then to the coast. A condo runs about $50,000 to $60,000, and they do give loans to Americans. You can take out a loan via Georgia, so you could put a down payment of a couple thousand and get a condo on the ocean right there in Georgia. So I'm going, and I'm going to take a look at possibly buying some property out there.
And then
hopefully you'll be able to come.
And having the proximity to other European countries like Italy, a place
right.
I think you and I both want to go
So
back
I
to.
was checking the prices, and it runs about $120 to $140 round trip to Italy from Georgia.
Really?
And pretty much the rest of Europe. So once you're based in Europe, it's 2-3 hours. You're pretty much anywhere you want to be in Europe, and of course the prices are peanuts. And so it's just, if you love Europe, and if you want, also I'll be close to Israel. I'll be able to go.
That's right. How far from Israel would you be?
I'm not quite sure. Evidently, it's pretty close. It's about
I think
4
so.
hours. I think it's about 4 hours, maybe 5 hours maximum. So it's and there's a lot of Israelis living on the Georgian coast. A lot of Jewish people actually
Oh,
from
you could
that
go
part
there
of
on
the
the weekend.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the food. I love Georgian
Yeah.
food. I've had many
Oh, but
incarnations.
really, you love the Georgian food. What gave me that idea? We've
He
talked
and I
about the
went to
restaurant.
dinner, and I
Yeah.
personally, by my standards, I thought it was the best meal we had
Oh
had.
my God, I'm still thinking about it. I
Uh,
think you've
uh,
got video of me filling my face with food at the restaurant. It was in, of
of
all
every
places,
meal you
Cardiff,
had,
Wales.
be
Yeah.
honest, of all the meals you had while you were in Europe, which one did you say this is the most delicious meal I've ever eaten?
Oh, that's like choosing amongst my children, which is my favorite. I had so many great meals, but that definitely is in the very, very top.
Yeah.
I'd say that
I
comes very
loved,
close to
but
being
I
the
loved
best.
also the fried chicken at Windsor. I felt like that was
Oh
really
yeah,
great.
yeah. Instead of fish and chips, we had chicken and chips,
Yeah,
and
and
that's the big trend in the UK
yeah,
now.
the big trend now. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people that come from countries where it's a lot of tourists, and they come from countries where they're just not crazy about fish, and so they
Mhm.
started selling chicken legs and chips instead,
Yeah.
thinking, this will just be what the tourists want that are coming from places,
The
like
locals, I think,
Middle
are
East
into it
and whatnot, Pakistan,
more so.
etc., where people like chicken and chips, chicken and rice, and boy, it was selling like hotcakes.
Yeah, everywhere we went. Yeah.
Everybody was ordering the chicken and chips.
Yeah.
I just did not want the fish and chips when I saw that fried chicken. I was just like, well, and he's a country boy. He comes from Virginia, so I knew what
Fried chicken. Fried chicken. Yeah.
I knew what his choice was going to be, and boy, wasn't that a great meal. And
Yeah.
we paid 16 pounds for that.
Yeah, it was pretty affordable.
It was eight
Yeah.
pounds a person.
Yeah,
And
that was
this is
amazing.
right outside Windsor Castle. I thought it was very reasonable.
Well, it was just like the best pasta I had in Rome. You introduced me to it, was the takeaway pasta. Wasn't
Right,
that
'cause it was
about the equivalence of about 8.5 euros, which was roughly $9?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was under $10. It was under
yeah, it's very
$10.
affordable. Yeah, and it was
Yeah,
so
and
good.
I think that those companies that don't spend on decor or attracting
Mhm.
locals, but are
The
just
hole in the walls.
the
Yeah,
hole in the walls that are
yeah.
making just food for the regular people
That's where you
wound
get
up
the
being the
most
best food.
authentic.
But I think you loved your ravioli also.
Oh God, I love my ravioli. That was our first night in Rome.
That was our
Did
first
you
night
take
in
pictures of me shoving it into my
Right.
face?
Well, it's interesting that you should say that, Chucky Poo, because today, as you
Mhm.
know, we are having a conversation about what it
Mhm.
takes to heal your life. What do you think it takes to
Yes.
heal your life, Chucky
What does
Poo?
it take to heal your life? That's a very complex, multifaceted question, but we've agreed that it starts with health, your physical health, how you take care of your body. That's where it all starts.
And I think that the reason why we're having this conversation today is because we want those of you who are here today, and then afterwards, we will open up the floor to personal readings if people have personal psychic readings or questions, advice that they need to have.
Mhm.
But I think the reason why Chuck and I want to have this conversation with you is to have you really think about this idea of the signal versus the noise.
Yeah.
The signal versus the noise. And what we mean by that is, are you wasting your life dealing with stuff that is not going to help improve your life in any way, shape, or form?
Mhm.
You
A lot
know,
of distractions,
right? What we call,
cacophony.
what we call the signal.
Mhm.
What we the signal versus the noise,
Yeah.
right? So an example of that would be where you're spending endless hours of your day thinking about what's going on politically, and that's not activism. You're
Mhm.
not actually engaging in activism. You're not actually doing anything. And furthermore, you have to ask, what are the consequences?
Yeah.
What are the consequences when you do that?
I think when people do that, there's at least some vicarious activity involvement, but that's not the same thing as actually being involved. And as you said, that just creates a lot of noise, a lot of distraction from the
Right.
basics.
Yeah. So the thing that we want you to think about, just take a moment, and this is something that Chuck and I want you to think about, is how much time do you spend being aware of your physical body?
Yeah. Being really aware, taking that quiet time to just listen to the signals. Because, as we've said on other shows, often intuition speaks to us in whispers in the beginning. We ignore it. It gets louder and louder until it screams at us and then explodes like a bomb.
Right. And so the other thing is to ask yourself the impact that it's having on your life.
Mm-hmm.
If you're spending all day getting upset about what's going on in the world, then that's time that's being taken away from
sure is.
what you need to do in order to heal your life.
It's taking away the time we need for our own personal empowerment, to find our own self-love, to find our creativity, to find how can we really contribute to the world constructively. I think it takes away from all of that. I talk to so many people who just say they cannot watch the news anymore. It's like poison. It's like toxicity that you're filling your head with.
Right. And what are the consequences of that to your physical health is another thing to think about.
Right offhand, I think of your blood pressure, your adrenals, your mental health, even things like your digestion, your sleep. It spills over into all aspects of your life.
Right. So it's not just the takeaway is how much time does it take for you to take care of your physical health? How much time are you spending in your day in order to take care of your health?
I think when we're being consistent, it's a lot less time than when we haven't taken care of ourselves. And then you've got like a mountain to climb. But if you're like taking care of your diet daily, putting good food into your body, hydrating yourself properly, getting at least a moderate amount of exercise, walking, resistance training, taking time to just meditate, do things for your soul, it doesn't take that much time.
Right. So
it has a lot of benefits.
Right. So there are a couple of things that we want you to check in order to just check in on your body. Think about your body. Is it just a meat suit? Are you just dragging this thing around, ignoring it, ignoring the voices that are screaming? Do you only pay attention to your body when your body is hurting?
I think for some people, yes.
Yeah, and I think that that's really a bad idea. So we've talked about some of the numbers that we want you to be aware of. Does everybody here have a blood pressure machine? Do you wake up in the morning and check your baseline? Because this is information that everybody should have, is wake up in the morning and you check your blood pressure. The day-to-day task of taking care of your physical health is all-consuming. What it takes to take care of your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, and what are going to be the consequences to your mental and spiritual health if you don't take care of your physical health.
Right.
So you have a blood pressure machine?
I most certainly do. Now, I will admit I don't take my blood pressure every morning. I should be doing that. I think that's a great recommendation you just made. But I do keep track of it.
If not
machine for quite a while.
Yeah, if not every day, then at least once a week. And how are you doing in terms of your blood pressure?
Blood pressure is good. I am on mild medication for it, and I've got it under control right now. And I've got it. My doctor says it's in a good range right now. I think I'm in like forget the lower number, the upper number, upper 130s. But my doctor said that that's nothing to be concerned about. He said for my age, for my lifestyle, factoring in other aspects of my health, he's not concerned about that. He feels my blood pressure is in a good place.
Yeah, so Chuck would have what we call, with medication, he's got stage 1 hypertension. If you go off the medication, it could actually be stage 2 hypertension.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, Chucky Poo, but medication is not the way to take care of your body. It's not the only way to take care of your body.
Oh, that I realize.
Because the elevated blood pressure is a signal to you that something is going on. In plainer words, the fact that you have an elevated blood pressure is a message to you.
Sure.
It means, number one, you could be consuming too much sodium. And number two, you could be deconditioned. That's stress on their kidney as well. Did you have
Right.
something?
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say also, I have a tendency to be high strung. I have a tendency to have anxiety. So I think all of those have an effect as well. Things that we hold in our subconscious.
Yeah. And then the next, very good point. So make sure you're checking your blood pressure. And what we want to see is you off medication, no medication. An ideal blood pressure for human beings would be under 120/80 without medications. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you can't get to 120/80 without medications, then you have hypertension. And that's the numbers we want to see first thing in the morning before you've had your coffee, before you've gotten physically active. So that
Definitely
rising
before the coffee.
Right. And so that is going to put you at increased risk for coronary artery disease, stroke, and it's also putting pressure on all of your organs, including your kidneys.
Kidneys.
So
Kidneys
this
that
is
I'm
why we've
aware of.
talked about, this is why we've talked about getting your sodium levels down and going
Which I
on a
have.
right. Excellent.
You
And
wouldn't know
why-
it from our trip, but I am very
I
good
don't
about
really,
that.
yeah, I do a little bit of salt, but I've dramatically reduced my salt. And you know what? I don't really have a problem with it. I thought I was going to have a big problem with it, but it's actually not been bad.
Once you get used to it, it's the same thing as going off of sugar. Once you get used to it, it actually, it tastes too salty. It tastes too sweet once you go back to it again.
Right.
That's what I found.
And then we've also talked about things you can do to lose weight, because remember, water follows fat. Water follows fat. So if you have excess fat, it's going to draw excess water. Where is that water going to go? It's going to go into your heart and your veins, into your arteries, and that's going to increase the pressure in the pipes. So when you lose the inflammation can cause a buildup of water. So we think about inflammation. And we think about fat. Those are the two things. Inflammation. Oh, did I spell that right? Those are the two things that we want to think about in terms of getting that blood pressure down. So, for example, I've eliminated white stuff from my diet. I do still allow for white rice. We look at white rice out of studies in longest living people in the world, like in Japan, where Okinawa, a little bit of white rice is okay. It doesn't seem to cause the same belly fat as wheat. It's wheat that's causing the belly fat.
And also, wheat is inflammatory by nature.
Yeah. So there are reasons why we allow white rice. For example, if it's difficult for you to digest your food and you're struggling with a high fiber diet, this would be one reason why we would allow for white rice. I put a little bit of white rice in a turkey casserole I made today. Brown rice is better, but not everybody feels good on the brown rice. And so the other thing you can do is you can mix quinoa into your white rice, which will lower the glycemic index. If you
That's
do
a great idea.
Yeah, if you do prefer the white rice. Okay, great. And then the other number that we're asking people to take a look at is your BMI. Chuck,
BMI.
Can you talk a little bit about BMI?
Well, BMI, of course, is your body mass index.
Yes.
And for example, myself, I'm 6'2", I'm 195 pounds, and my BMI is approximately 25.0, which puts me I'm on the abyss. You've seen me. You would not call me overweight, but
no, you're not overweight.
But I'm at that. There are other factors, of course, like muscle mass, bone density. We've talked about that, or we're going to talk about that. But that was just a rough estimate for me, 25.0, which puts me right at that.
Oh no, you're perfect. 24.0 for a male, I would say that's excellent.
Okay, I was going by what AI on the
internet. We can go 27 to 28 with a male.
That's what I thought too.
With muscle mass. No, I think you're doing very well with that. I would want to make sure you're having 80% of total caloric index coming from plants, and I would be cutting sodium and making sure you're hydrated. The other thing with your elevated blood pressure is I would want to make sure you are not deconditioned. So are you running? Have you taken up exercise of some that's going to get your cardiac up? Because pumping your blood and doing cardio is going to give you a stronger heart that's going to be able to lower your heart rate because it's going to be more effective at pumping, and it's going to keep those arteries elastic, and that's going to drop your blood pressure as well.
I do at least 30 to 45 minutes of brisk walking a day. That's if nothing else, I do that. I don't run. I don't do that mostly because I have some bone spurs, and it hurts my feet to run. So that's the reason I gave that up. I mean, I acknowledge I could do that on a treadmill at the gym, and I should be doing that.
Have you done something about your bone spurs? That sounds terrible.
They're much better than they used to be. I've been to a podiatrist for it.
Oh, how do they treat that?
I had to have
I've got spurs
injections right into the heels of my feet. It was not pleasant. And I pretty much kept it under control. And of course, I do magnesium, B6.
Oh, good.
That's helped quite a bit. I think that's why I got out of the habit of running, because there was a time where it was actually painful for me. I could probably do it again.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy walking. I love brisk walking. I love having my earbuds on, listening to music, listening to a podcast or an audiobook.
It's amazing.
It's to meditate.
Yeah. Swimming is also a great thing. If you can't, for whatever reason, run, then we get people in the water. And the great thing about swimming is that it's both aerobic and anaerobic, both, and it's low impact. But, with people who do a lot of cardio, runners, for example, they'll often have a heartbeat that's under 50 beats a minute bradycardia. It's not unusual to see 45 to 50 beats per minute because their hearts are so large, massive. They can hold massive amounts of blood. And also their arterial walls, the arteries have widened so much that their blood pressure is often 90/60 with a heart rate of 45. And that's because of the conditioning of the arteries, that your arteries become conditioned as well when you exercise. And instead of becoming narrow, they will accommodate whatever your exercise routine is. So if you're lying around doing nothing, then they will become smaller and more narrow, more rigid, which will increase blood pressure. So this is another reason why we want people to do cardio. I got out and did 30 minutes today. I've been really tired, and that has really been a struggle for me in terms of just getting the cardio. I would say the weakest thing in terms of my health is that I don't exercise enough.
Yeah. Do you think you're also still tired from fighting off the viral infection you caught in England?
Yeah, I think there's a lot. Excuse me. I think there's a lot going on with me. Obviously, my BMI right now is just at 25. I'm heavier than I want to be. And I know that the answer is intermittent fasting, trying not to eat late at night if I can finish my last meal around 6 or 7, and then have green tea. That's why before we went into session today, I was eating some food, which is part of why I'm coughing. But I wanted to get that meal in early so that I was able to engage in some intermittent fasting, because I do want to drop an extra, 10, 20 pounds. And the other thing that I do, and you may also want to do this as well, is I start doing green tea on a daily basis.
I love green tea. I don't do it daily, and I should, but I do love it.
I like
wonderful antioxidant benefits.
Yeah, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Lowers your cholesterol. It's a great. It is a source of caffeine, but I think it's probably healthier than coffee. Yeah, it's very little. But it does help promote alertness, helps lower your cholesterol. It's a wonderful source of antioxidant nutrients. Inexpensive, easy to make.
Yeah, I like genma chai. If you have it if you have a tea bag floating in hot water for a long time, it can kind of get that icky astringent flavor. So you might want to take it out after 5 minutes. But genma chai is nice. It takes off some of that, gives it a nice flavor, because it's got some toasted brown rice, which just eases off the flavor. And that's what I'm having. So
Yeah.
when you're getting hungry, you can always think about a nice warm cup
yeah.
of tea at night instead
That's
of eating a meal if you
yeah.
are trying to eat early. So so the point again to reiterate is that the responsibility for taking care of your physical body is a full-time job.
Yes, it is. I think it equates also to self-love. It's about
Mhm.
loving yourself, and when you look at it that way, it's not so much effort. It's a good feeling when you're doing things for this like this throughout the day. Starting with the morning, starting with your breakfast, starting with like having a cup of green tea, having a
Right.
healthy breakfast, going out for a walk, exercising,
Right.
meditating, journaling.
So, yeah, so when we talk about a BMI, what your mass index is, we understand that if you're an athlete, a man, and you're pure muscle,
Hmm.
this is just a general idea, but we
It's a
want to,
general idea.
yeah, we want to see it under 25. Anything over 25 is considered overweight. Like I
Yeah.
said, right now I'm 165 pounds at 5'8". I would be in much better shape if I dropped 20, 30 pounds. And I know that.
Hmm.
At the same time, as seniors, we have to have a little bit of fat, particularly
Yeah.
women, because as estrogen declines,
Yeah.
the only way to protect your bones is by producing estrogen from your fat cells, because fat cells
Hmm.
also produce estrogen. However, estrogen produced by fat cells can be inflammatory, and this is why we see estrogen types of cancers
Yeah.
increase risk when you have a higher fat percentage.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, even your waist size. When I was looking at BMI, it was also asking me questions about our waist size, and I just came in under the wire on that one. I have a 37-inch waist, but the belly fat
Mhm.
has adverse effects as well.
Right. So you're going to take your weight, you're going to take your height in centimeters,
Hmm.
right? So I
Yeah.
am 168, and you're going to divide that in half, and that is going to be the bare minimum of what your waist circumference should
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. But like for a man my age, I was pointed out that where I am right now, it's good for muscle retention, metabolism, for my brain function, hormone balance, immune function, recovery. So it's okay to have that little extra bit of fat.
A
No,
little bit, but
yeah, a little bit.
it's going to also increase your risk of prostate cancer.
Yeah. So
Right.
far, my PSA is very good.
Yeah. Okay, so what have we learned so far? We've learned that number one, know the difference. Whoa, there's a serious fire somewhere. Do you hear?
Well, we've had all kinds of stuff going on here in LA.
Yeah.
It's been on the national news.
Oh,
Like
wow.
like the chemical plant that
Oh,
almost
geez,
exploded, and
Louise.
oh yeah, don't have to go into it, but
Right.
it's been a lot of drama.
Yeah, it's another wave of them. So again, just know the difference between noise versus a signal. Noise is stuff that's distracting you, that's keeping you from the business of living your life. Noise is when you sit around all day looking at YouTube videos
Yeah.
that get you upset, that are raising your hypertension, and taking you away from your responsibility to care for your physical body. That's not
Yes.
activism, it's abuse. It's abuse of yourself, and it's also irresponsible
Yes, it
because
is.
it's harming your mental and physical health by doing that. That's time you could be chanting, you could be meditating,
Yeah.
you could be doing yoga and listening to mantras.
Yeah.
You could be creating a nutrient dense meal for yourself, and you could be perfecting your work in mastery.
Hmm.
And so the last a number we wanted to give people had to do with calculating your protein. So again, we want you to eliminate sugar from your diet, start throwing out anything in your home that contains sugar, a little bit of honey or maple syrup, or dates and figs if you truly want something sweet, in moderation. But you want to keep your added sugar below 25 grams a day, and you can start counting that. For me, I get that in my morning coffee. I have
Hmm.
2 teaspoons of maple sugar, and I per cup, and I have 2 cups of coffee a day. And so And then occasionally, do you hear this? What
I
the
hear
heck is going on? Oh my gosh.
Disaster movie.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll have a little bit of honey in my tea, and that is all the sugar I am consuming. When I want something sweet, I like to have watermelon. I love watermelon or strawberries. We don't count sugar in fruits, in fresh fruit, because it has a low glycemic index, and that's because the fiber in the fruit slows down the gastric emptying, and you're filled up with all that good stuff, all that fiber and
All those
vitamins,
wonderful
etc.
antioxidants.
We're talking about pure sugar, white sugar, corn syrup, cookies, all that junk. Just forgive yourself, love yourself. Take a large garbage bag and begin throwing all of that stuff into a garbage bag and toss it in the trash.
That's an act of self-love.
And take time to eliminate, just spend one day eliminating all of the garbage from your home. If you can't give up the noodles, then try and make sure you always pair the noodles with a really good protein. We, of course, recommend turkey meat here. We think that's good. Chicken is also good. If you're vegetarian, try and go with tempeh. Tempeh is easy to digest. Or a chickpea puree if you're vegan. But if you really can't give up your noodles, always make sure that you pair them with a really good protein. I was looking at a really good vegan meal Italian, where they make a puree with cannoli beans, and then you can also sprinkle like some toasted pepitos on top of that, and then you get a nice complete protein.
What would you suggest as some good alternatives to noodles that would give you a similar satisfaction?
I think that
pasta, maybe?
egg noodles are going to be better, and I think there's also there's also the quinoa noodles. They don't taste as good. I like good old-fashioned white noodles, but I prefer the egg noodles, which are going to give me a lower glycemic index. And you can make your own noodles. Try and get yourself unbleached flour. You know, a good quality. It doesn't have to be brown, but you want to get a wheat flour that is high, excuse me, high in protein, and you know, as little processing of the flour as possible. Unbleached. You know, if they sift out some of the grain, fine, but there are some really great, good quality out there wheats. If you do absolutely want to make your own pasta, just check at Whole Foods and see what they have, because some people like the brown rice pasta. I think it's got a lower protein amount in it. I think really objectively, if you're just looking at nutrition for high protein noodles, I think the answer is to go with egg noodles.
That's good advice.
You know? And that's going to not, but really, I think for me personally, I'm really dramatically reducing my wheat. You know, sourdough is on the list of high glycemic foods because it's not
It's not even real.
It's not real sourdough. It's real sourdough is they would grind up the whole seed and ferment it like these.
You would have a sourdough starter.
Yeah, it was these heavy sourdough. Excuse me, I'm eating a cat here. Inhaling a cat here.
Mila. Yeah,
I love
I'd
her,
say
but,
it's pretty rare to find real sourdough anymore unless you can make it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, to make the starter takes days.
Yeah, most people don't have the patience for that or the time.
Right. Yeah. And then you're grinding the whole einkorn wheat. You can get einkorn wheat noodles. Those are very healthful if you einkorn wheat. But then you would grind the whole seed and mix that into the fermentation, and then it would grow for like days. When I'm in Germany, I love to get real authentic sourdough. It's that whole crackling brown bread, and it's hearty, and it's, you know, it's just, you just tear at it, you chew on it. It has an extremely low glycemic index. It's not the same cheap sourdough that is really white bread here in the United States, but we call it sourdough.
Basically, that's what it is, white bread.
Yeah, and the last number we want people to be aware of is how much protein. There's been some
Mhm.
debates on protein. Can you talk a little bit about protein, Jeff?
Well, a lot of it has to do, of course, with your body size, how active you are. You know, like a more athletic person is going to need more protein than someone who's sedentary. Um, I know for myself, I probably get an average about 90 to 100 grams of protein a day, but I was looking online, said I could even go higher than that. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what, and I forget what the formula is for calculating it. I was trying to look at my notes to see if I had
Uh-huh.
anything.
So here we have the calculation of
Okay, good,
grams
you've got
body
that.
weight.
Yeah.
Women over 50 plus was the area that I was focusing on because I'm a woman over 50. And we're looking at, adrenal recovery, which is common. We were talking about stress
Mhm.
earlier. We're
Yeah.
talking about zero point 0.8 to 1.0 kilograms per kilogram. So, say, for example, I'm 55, 60 kilograms, then I'm going to need about 50 to 60 kilograms, 50 to 60 grams of protein a day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of it is general what I find on the internet. Like I saw something that said 70 grams a day, and then it went on to say this is only the basic deficiency prevention level. But how do
Mhm.
you determine that for the individual person?
Well, you can see here sedentary, moderate, or higher needs, depending upon, for example, if you're fighting an infection, you would want to increase your protein. If you are running a marathon, if you're doing weight building, if you're just lying
Yeah.
around the house all day, then you
Yeah.
can drop your protein. But we don't want you to be sedentary. We want
Oh
you to be
no.
out there
Yeah.
physically moving. Yeah, so those are
Yeah.
the numbers we want you to be aware of in order to take care of your meat suit, right?
Mhm.
That is, be aware of what is physically happening inside your body. What
Mhm.
are you putting in your body? What is fueling your body? Are you ready at this point in your life to go into your refrigerator and start throwing out things that are killing you? And maybe you still want to hold on to the sourdough, or maybe you still want to hold on to the white noodles. That's fine. But what are you willing to do right now in order to commit your life to
Right.
your life? Remember what the Talmud says. If you save a life, it is as if you have saved the world entire. You want to save the world, save a life, start with yourself.
That's beautiful.
So, the last thing, and then we're going to open up the floor to free tarot readings and guidance for people
Mhm.
who need guidance.
I love that,
Understand that if
committing your life to your life.
that's correct, because the
That's
only way
beautiful.
that we're going to come out of this nightmare of everything that's going on in the world is we have to disengage and work on the personal revolution that happens from within, and that is how we lead. That is how we lead. We become the change we wish to see in the world. Of
Yeah.
course, if
It's
you
how
want
we
to show
prevail.
up, yeah, going to city council meetings and getting locally active about cleaning up your neighborhood is also great.
Hmm.
But you may need to spend 2 hours a day on self care or more until you can get yourself stable. Meaning, you wake up in the morning, you're checking your blood pressure, you're having a healthy smoothie, or, I go with a protein and green smoothie every day.
Hmm. And
That's
you love the paradise.
Yeah, I go with paradise herbs because I have found in my research that that is probably the healthiest food for the human body.
Yeah.
It has dozens and dozens of nutrients in it, including the adaptogenic herbs like the ashwagandha, the schisandra, the rhodiola, the Siberian ginseng. It also has those mushrooms that I never get enough of, those therapeutic mushrooms,
Hmm.
the reishi, the shiitake, which is
Hmm.
associated with decreased risk for cancer.
Yeah.
It's also giving me those antioxidants, which rejuvenate me and slow down the aging process.
Yeah.
You
Also,
know,
adrenal support, helping
yeah,
stress,
those yeah,
anxiety,
yeah,
mood.
those adrenal supportive
Yeah.
herbs and the berries, the vitamin C, the berries, all of that is
Very good for the brain.
right. All of that can be found in Protein and Greens by Paradise, and it's
Yeah.
soy free and it's gluten free. And I put 1 scoop of that. That's how I do it. Protein and Greens by Paradise. That's the one I swear by. All my patients are on it. I'm on it myself. And then to that, sometimes I'll do like a half of a scoop, and then I'll do half of a scoop of PB2 powder, which is the dry peanut butter powder. And that's great because the oil's been removed and it's a legume. And I love the taste of peanut butter. So I will make myself a peanut butter smoothie. If you want to put in a little bit of banana to get yourself some sweet, that's fine. Mixed berries, I'll often do whatever is in season. I like the strawberries and watermelon. I'm putting that in my smoothies right now. Almond milk or Ripple. If you're worried about your protein, Ripple milk has the much higher protein. You can make your own plant milk. I think that's a beautiful thing if you've got the time to do it. And I put flax in, and then omega-3s by Nordic Natural for brain health and heart health. I'll do a teaspoon of that in the smoothie. And so my smoothie is a powerhouse. I mean, I start my day, I put walnuts.
That's rocket fuel.
Right. So I'm putting in 3 different sources just for omega for brain and heart health. I'm putting in a handful of walnuts, a handful of, I'm putting in a tablespoon of ground flax, and I'm putting in a teaspoon of omega-3s in addition to mixed berries. You can do frozen mixed berries, that's fine. The PB2, the protein and greens, and then the unsweetened almond milk. And that is, I do that religiously every day. And then with that, I take my multivitamins. And those multivitamins, I don't want people to go too crazy because it can get expensive. And we want to be able to make sure that people are taking good care of themselves. But I did want to show people a sample report. And this is the last thing. We're going to show you a couple more things. And then we really want to make sure that we're getting to everybody's personal questions. If you have something you really need us to help you with, true love is fine. There's no question that's a bad question. You want to look at your job, whatever. We don't judge. Whatever your question is, you can go ahead and give us your personal. Yeah, we'll happily take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
All right. So core daily principles 25 to 30. Prioritize protein, vegetables and fruits, whole grains, over refined and healthy fats. Avocado, nuts, olive oils, full fat dairy without. This is for me, or I would say any woman over 50, but this was just stuff that they were giving. Breakfast ideas. So personal whimsy touch. Now, this was me using AI, and certainly you can use AI in order to tell them what you ate. So I had 1 cup of coffee, 2 teaspoons of organic maple syrup. I had a smoothie with 1 scoop of protein and greens, 1 scoop of PB2 powder, half a cup of watermelon, 4 large strawberries, 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk. I had half a cup of milk in my coffee, whole milk. I had 1 large tablespoon of flax in my smoothie. I had 1 ounce of walnuts and a teaspoon of omega. So then I had the computer grade my nutrition, and you can see here everything is broken down by the computer.
I got graded too.
How did you do?
Well, I was just going to say I had a summary here that I was actually pleased with. It said, quoting it, it said, "I'm clearly proactive about my cognitive health, inflammation reduction, and healthy aging." And it said, "My routine aligns with many evidence-based healthy aging principles."
That's because you're a good physician's assistant. You know your stuff.
Well, you trained me well. I was in the industry for many years too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So this is a breakdown, and then estimated totals with my coffee got me to 600-700, and then positives. And then I go ahead and get my breakdown of my sugars, everything, Whimsy's tips and Oracle grade today. And the grade we got, I've got an A+.
Whoa!
On most, well, come on, I perfect body. I do well with milk. Not everybody can, and I do the whole milk, and that's because
I do well with milk.
I do well with whole milk, and if you don't do whole milk, then what happens is you feel unsatisfied, so you end up using more of the skimmed milk, and then
Mhm.
you wind up with a higher sugar.
Mhm.
So I have found with the whole milk, I use less of it in my coffee,
That's a
and
good
then
point.
and as a result, I'm consuming less sugar in the milk.
Mhm.
But you can see mostly A plus with everything. I got a B plus with the sugars.
Oh.
Uh,
Now you used a different program than I did because I didn't get letter
yeah, I
grades.
really like
I
Grok,
just
and you
got
can
that summary, you know.
you can do Chat GPT.
That's what I did. I did chat. And I've never done that before. It was at your suggestion today when you wrote me earlier saying you were
Yeah,
going
and
to
you
talk
can
about this.
tell, you can give, if they're saying they're not giving you all the detail you want, tell them to expand and tell the AI how you want to expand.
Yeah, I need to play with it a little more. Work with it.
So for dinner, I had turkey. I had what did I have? I had a turkey loaf with a little white rice in it, eggs,
Mhm.
and lots of different vegetables in it. So again, here is my grade, and you can see I did fairly well. Now, what it came out also is what the nutritional deficits were. Like I
Mhm.
wasn't getting enough magnesium, calcium, iron, potassium, manganese, etc., and that drops down to what supplements we can take to get
Yeah.
it to an A plus. And my BP today was 120/87 without medication and a heart rate of 68. So obviously, stage one hypertension, because the lower number was still above 87. It's 7 points. So
Mhm.
it's really nothing.
Mhm.
But it falls within the diastolic 80 to 89. So it's kind of like not really, but it's high enough to where, if you, as a naturopath, I'm not happy with that, because
Yeah,
my standards are going to be higher than the average
of
person.
course. But I think also factoring in all of the other things you're doing so well on, that's
Hmm.
one of the reasons why it may not be as much of a concern.
Well, it's a message to me that I've got to increase my cardio,
Yeah, I do
right?
too.
And so,
I wish I was walking like I was in Rome. I did several miles a day.
yeah, and I'm sure your
I
blood
was there.
pressure dropped as a result of that.
Well, I was also very happy while I was there, but I was eating tons of carbs, as you know, all that pasta. I didn't gain an
No,
ounce.
you wouldn't. You
I
wouldn't.
didn't
No,
gain any weight, and I
no,
was
no,
fully
because
expecting to.
no, because you're burning all the weight. So my multivitamin, then I added 3 capsules of Thorne Women's Multi Over 50, and then we have a new calculation come in, and we find a new grade. And I also added 2 multi-mineral by Blue Bonnet. The chelated
That's a good company.
multi-minerals by Blue Bonnet, 2 capsules, because I found out my calcium was too low. So
Mhm.
then we calculate. So rate my day, and then you rate it again. The point is that by using these kinds of systems, you can find out precisely what your nutrition is doing
Mhm.
and what supplements you need to be taking based on what your protein intake was, what your
Mhm.
carbs, your macronutrients, and what your micronutrients were. And as a result of that, you will then know how to supplement specifically for you based on that. And
Mhm.
so, what am I lacking? And then we saw I was only getting 40 to 60% of the calcium I need. Uh, so, that's the point. That drops me down to an A minus on total health. And then I put in my dinner. And so I just love these kinds of things because they're going to
Yeah.
encourage you to take care of yourself. And then I added all of my nutrition up, including my supplements. And then
I put all
I
mine
took,
in too.
yeah, I took 25,000 IU of vitamin D 3 times a week because my vitamin D is too low. I
Yeah.
also put in the Blue Bonnet Iron 3 multi minerals, and so dun, 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 I also put in some DHEA, and adrenal fatigue. Yes, all of that good stuff. And then the final outcome, of course, is A plus, right? So you wind up with like an A plus. I'll drop down to that.
Congratulations. This is great. This is so empowering, and it's accessible to everybody. This is definitely one of the positive aspects of AI. It just keeps making me think of the days when we used to do the hair tests together. You know, we would take 3 strands of hair, put them on a little machine. It was basically a little MRI machine. It would send the results digitally to Germany. Where was it in Germany? And then we would get the results back in about 20 minutes. It would give you a whole profile of
Hamburg.
Yeah, you get a whole profile.
Land of the hamburger.
Of a person's nutrients, what they were deficient in, what they were doing fine in, things that could be tweaked. It was quite empowering. I used to love doing it.
Yeah.
This is something anybody can do.
Yeah. So use those tools to find out what you need to do in order to get control of your body. Get control of your body. And I learned from this that my exercise was my weak. I'm not exercising. I know it, and I need to get back into, and that's going to, if I can add that one component, I will dramatically drop my systolic and my diastolic.
Yeah.
I got to condition my arteries.
Yeah. Are you the type of person where you need to do exercise that's fun? You need something that stimulates you, or you can just dive into it?
Yeah, I was looking at, because, you know, I'm thinking of purchasing in Georgia. That's why I wanted to know if you wanted to come with me to Georgia.
I'm interested.
I found a condo for $52,000. They're happy to give loans to Americans if you want to put only a couple thousand on a down payment.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're paying $750, $800. They had a swimming pool.
Yeah.
So move to Georgia, then I get to live in Europe. And I'm close to Israel. I'm close to Paris. I'm close to Rome. And I get to have a condo for $52,000 with a swimming pool. Beautiful.
Makes a lot of sense.
And I'm on the beach.
And you have to throw that in as well. I'm near the beach. Yeah.
So I think I'll
do your walks on the ocean shore.
Yeah, I think I'll get a 1-bedroom out there. And then of course you can come anytime you want to come and stay. When you're on your way to Rome.
That's the beauty of.
There's a lot lean. I'm probably purchasing in Georgia. That's what I'm like 80% there, because I looked at purchasing in Mexico, purchasing in other countries, Japan, etc. I found some great deals in Kyoto, great deals in Hokkaido.
Because I know your heart has been in Japan.
My heart is in Japan, but everything has been. As this journey of trying to find out where to live, everything is now, it's getting stronger and stronger that it's probably going to be Georgia, the country of Georgia. Yeah. It's just, there's a lot of reasons why.
Yeah.
So this trip in October, I don't know if you're going to be able to come with me, but this trip in October is going to really seal it. And if I see something I like, I might just go ahead and put a down payment when I'm there.
The beautiful thing also in this digital era, we can work from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, nothing's changing. They've got, I was shocked. They had T-Mobile. They had T-Mobile right in the middle of Beasley. You know, it's like everything is there and everybody speaks English. And they're like, yeah, you can just set up your T-Mobile here. It's like nothing changed. Your phone number doesn't even change. Yeah. It's pretty great. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring in the empath prayer. If you would like to receive a healing at this time, go ahead and give us your name or the name of a person you would like us to pray for, and we will include them in our prayers as we come together and we bring in the empath's prayer. Do I see Georgia being safe from? Yeah, Russia's finished. I've done some remote views, and I'm so sorry to see what's coming for Russia. And I don't want to give too much away, but there is what I will say, I don't like to go into this stuff too much because we're trying to move away. But what I will say, I go on record, we're here on the 26th, is that a massive attack is planned against the entire country of Russia by Ukraine, and it's going to take out much of it's going to probably bankrupt Russia.
If they're not already
mostly drone attacks.
Yeah, they're probably already bankrupt.
Yeah, I mean there were 1,000 drone attacks that hit in one day, but this attack that they're planning looks more like 10,000, 20,000. I mean, this looks like they are really planning a 3-day blitz where that every inch of Russia could be hit. I mean, like, it's a very serious thing. I don't want to give any
literally the every inch, the entire
it
country?
looks like a major attack is being planned. I don't want to go too much into locations or how this is going to happen, but yeah. And I think that they that will be the nail on the coffin for Russia. Yeah. And it's a shame that it got to this point, and that had to happen. Yeah. All right. Without further ado, let us come together and bring in the empath's prayer. Okay, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decision for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively as a community, we say, Amen. And for those of you today who are seeking healings, we come together at this time and we pray. We pray that you and those you love receive a perfect healing in mind, body, and in spirit. And together again, collectively as a community, we say, Amen, Amen, Amen. May all souls be healed. May all souls be healed. Thank you all for being here. Much love.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we're going to go through this. We're going to skip the top stuff. Joel had some important questions. Maybe if we have time, we can go back to that later.
Sure.
But I just want to make sure we're getting to everybody who had questions. Congratulations, Heidi. She's going to be a grandma.
Oh, that's wonderful, Heidi.
Yeah, very happy for you. We just want to make sure that people are getting the support they need. Okay, we're going to start with this question coming in from Chuck. Please go ahead.
Catherine, 2296 says, blessings. Can you please advise me, per my guides and angels, about my next direction or life cycle? I'm 73. Thank you very much. Well, let's see.
Okay, so this is exactly what Chuck and I wanted to talk to you about, Catherine Ney, is this idea that we come to the end of our lives and then we're horrified. Time's up. Okay, the show has ended. Grab your popcorn and be sure lights out. Throw it in the trash. Wait a minute. Oh, and you freak out because there were all these things you wanted to do, you could have done, you should have done, but now it's too late because you thought you had all the time in the world. Yeah. Again, go back to the difference between the noise and the signal. I'll give you an example of noise. Sitting around upset, this is my one sin I'll talk about. Getting upset because people don't like me. Getting upset because so-and-so said a mean comment. That's noise. That's noise. Like my mentor says all the time, is that going to get you to Mars? Is that going to get you to Mars, Whimsy? If you're trying to get to Mars, if you're trying to save the world as a naturopathic doctor, do your part to make the world a better place. Be the best naturopathic physician I can be. I'm very clear about why I'm on the planet. I'm here to get people to laugh. I'm here to entertain people, and I'm here to empower and educate you. And the only way I can do that is, number one, I have to take care of myself, and I have to be able to ignore the noise and focus on the signal. And the signal is everything that's going to get you to help you achieve what it is you help to achieve. Chuck, go ahead. You had something to say about that?
I was just going to say that when people have their own opinions about us or things to say, that's not even our business. It's their business, not ours. We shouldn't even have to concern ourselves with that. It's just
is it noise or is it the signal? That's what my mentor would say. Is it noise or is it signal?
The noise.
Sometimes people criticize us and we need to hear it. It's a legitimate criticism that's going to help me. If I have a violin instruction, I'm learning to play the violin, and the violin teacher says, Whimsy, you're doing it wrong. That's not noise, that's a signal. And being able to that's a signal to redirect the way I play the violin so I can be better at my job. So a criticism can be effective, but we need to know the difference. Is it just yap, 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 like what happened to Mary Bird? You look like crap, or is it somebody saying, I think you need to try this. This is a signal to go in this direction in order to perfect yourself. The first thing I feel when I go into your energy is I feel that your world has become small, and I feel defensive in my world, as if the universe is saying to you, your world is too small. So you are defending yourself a lot. Fear-driven, arthritis, inflammation in the body, the 9 of Wands. So the main thing your guides want you to know is not to focus on the age, but to focus on the direction. Where are you trying to get to, and how are you going to get there? What is the signal? What is the signal? What is the message? How do I get there? How do I get to Mars? How do I get to my direction? And instead, you may find yourself being bombarded by noise, sitting around watching YouTube all day. Oh my God, what has the orange buffoon done today? So we have this energy of defensiveness and then a feeling of being attacked by the outside world. So the first thing is you want to make sure that you're safe and that you're not being bombarded. Remove yourself from anything toxic. This is the first thing you can do to improve your health, is to remove the toxic from your life. The naysayers, the noise, the people that are in your way, that are just giving you noise, that are preventing you from doing what it is you want to achieve. If you cannot hear your own voice because you're being bombarded by the noise is keeping you from hearing the inner signal. That is what my mentor is saying. And so if you want to be really, really, really effective, you have to be able to know the difference. And that's the first thing, is get yourself safe and get yourself practicing good daily habits in terms of self-care, and trust by going into your mantras, your chanting, and into self-care that you will know the direction that you seek. You have the star over you. You also have the sun. The sun is coming out for you. Get yourself safe from the outside world, but also safe from self-harm, and begin to do the work necessary to return back to center. And you will receive the message that you're supposed to receive from message to go in the direction you need to go in.
Yeah. What I was getting is, this is a period of your life to be in devotion to yourself and your own unconditional love, and a devotion to your own life force. Really, as Whimsy has pointed out very well, but really listen to your soul, listen to your physical body, what it is telling you, the things that Whimsy also said before I could even say it here. I got the physical body card, but I'm really getting, this is about listening to yourself, it being devoted to yourself. It's about being in your absolute authentic truth. Take this period of your life to be in a state of grace. And I got the community card, like you're really meant to take this out into the world. Taking out in the world could be even just taking it out into your town, taking it to your family, taking it to your neighbors, but interacting with people based on what you're learning from your own self, and being in this state of grace and purpose in your life. That's what I'm getting.
Absolutely. Heidi Christensen, I have a love question. Do you see the
Mhm.
man I'm dating a lifelong partner for me? Oh, you're dating someone
Mm.
now? Interesting. We love love. We think love is important, right, Chuck?
I think it goes pretty far. Yes.
Yeah, love makes the
So I was
world go
looking at my
round.
cards here, Renee. I want to give her a good answer here.
All right. Heidi's love life.
Heidi's love life.
Fool takes a leap of love. How do you feel about this
I got
person?
risk. Basically the same thing you got there.
Yeah, like how do you feel about this relationship? I'm seeing also
Yeah.
he's going through some stuff. He had a recent event or situation. He's been depressed and sad right now, and he could really use some emotional support.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got the house of grief. I think he's not a bad guy, but I think there it is. Look at that. She's thinking of marriage. Look at that.
Mhm. I didn't want to interrupt you,
Oh,
Whimsy.
10 of swords. I'm seeing betrayal here. I'm seeing a betrayal. Take it slow, get to know him better. Continue to work on yourself. I get the impression this guy that you're dealing with, he has grief over him. He also has some financial concerns. I feel that you could overcome trauma from past betrayals. It's all about taking your time and getting to know people. Mhm. It's possible that it could work out. Yeah. Chuck, you had
Well,
something you wanted to
I
add?
just found it interesting about taking a chance on this, because the risk card came up quickly, and that doesn't mean a bad thing. It just means that you're taking a chance. You're putting yourself out there. I took encouragement in this card, partnerships and love. Now, doesn't that just say it right there? But I did get discontent and pleasure at the same time. And under discontent, I also had a certain amount of denial. And I was trying to figure that out. Where's this discontent coming from? I think that could be from the partner, but there's also pleasure there. There's some good things. There's certainly enough good there for you to even be seriously considering this man. I mean, there's obviously a
Yeah.
lot of pleasure, but definitely there's some discontent. And I get that there's some denial from him about how much discontent there actually is, but maybe you can help to balance that. And I also got the solitude card for you. And usually when I get that card, no, that doesn't mean to be alone. I mean, it means to take time to be alone, to meditate, to soul search, to really listen to your guidance, because you are going to get a lot of your answers there. But I feel good about this, the partnerships and love card.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I think her cards show that you've had some. He's got some grief. He's worried about his financial situation. You have grief from the past, and both of you just need time and to just be good. Learn to be good friends with each other. Learn to
yeah,
rely on each other and learn to be good friends. And it could wind up working well for your if it
yeah,
goes in that
it feels
direction.
encouraging. Yeah, I mean, no relationship is perfect. There's always going to be challenges that are
Hmm.
inherent.
What advice would you give, Chuck, to a couple that's just starting out? I mean, like my feeling is that people are just rushing into things too
I feel
quickly.
that many people rush, and I think a lot of people are frankly addicted to love itself, the endorphins they get from it. Oh, this makes me feel so wonderful. I feel so fanciful. They're
Yeah.
not looking at reality. And that's why it is important to take your time with a
Hmm.
relationship. Take your time to really, really know this person. You
Hmm.
know, it goes both ways.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Really be
agree.
sure. Really be sure. Jess Miskey. Oh, thank you, Jess.
Thank you.
Donation of $9.99. What do you see for my career? Should I go for the job I am thinking about? I have never felt like I was doing what I should be doing, and AI is putting my job in jeopardy.
Well, that is scary.
Uh, Someone is knocking at my door. I don't know who that is, but anyway, I'm gonna keep going.
Do people often knock on your door?
No, they don't. So I don't know what that is, but anyway, we're in the middle of a live stream here. What do you see for my
I
career?
heard a knock. I was wondering where that was
Yeah, I'm so
coming
sorry. I
from.
got distracted there. So let me get back to my cards here.
Okay, so okay, so the person is, you know what? I was just seeing a huge thing. There's a huge self-employment expo in Portland. I think I probably missed it, which is too bad. But a lot of people are just getting back to the garden, and they're starting
Yeah.
their own little side things. We have a Six of Wands moving in, so you're moving into a really positive place in your life,
Yeah.
and they say don't fall into the negative and instead start to work on developing yourself in ways where you're going to be
Yeah.
successful. Don't fall into fear at this time. Instead, look at taking control of your life and know that everything is going to be fine. And I see you possibly expanding your career or going into other areas,
Yeah.
and pursuing other interests. And in the next 6 months, it's actually going to be a really exciting time for you. So slow down, save your money, learn to maybe get a side gig going. I'm also seeing possible romantic changes in her future. Love and
Mm.
romance is coming to her. But
Wow.
look at this. She's going in, she's marching in with a Six of Wands, and I read Wands as month card. So it's a good 6 months for her. And do not be concerned with the noise. That would be an example of noise where she's getting herself bent out of shape by something that could happen that hasn't happened. And instead, she should just step back, be calm, do her research, and do what's necessary to plow forward.
Well, I concur with that because the very first card I got was gifts. That's a
Mm-hmm.
very positive card. I see really good things coming here, but I see that coming from her sense of invention, imagination, and also epiphanies will come to you through your imagination, um, also through your discipline. And again, I got the psychic awareness card. So, epiphany, psychic awareness, I think a lot of answers are just going to come to you naturally. I definitely see it's something positive. That gifts card tells me that, but I got this card because I think this is reflective of your fear. The lost card, you're in fear because of AI. A lot of us fear that. I'm an artist and a writer. Sometimes I wonder what is AI going to do, but we can also look at AI
Mm-hmm.
as a tool that can assist us, like what you and I did today. The research
Mm-hmm.
that we did, we used AI to help, and that's a very positive thing. And I
Right.
just see positive things for you, Jess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. So don't worry, just be calm, separate the noise from the signal, find out what your gifts are, move towards taking control of your life, make sure you're honoring your budget, living below your means, and doing what you have to do to take care of yourself. You'll be just fine. Next 6 months are going to
Yeah,
prove very good for you.
I think so. Gifts. It's coming.
Hmm.
Jeremy Rodney, can I please get a message from my guides on whatever I need to hear the most? I've been feeling overwhelmed and stuck.
Absolutely. Oh
Uh,
boy, let's see
okay.
here. Jeremy, I feel when I go into your energy, like, again, it goes back to the signal and noise. I feel like I'm a little bit scattered. I'm worried about your blood sugar, Jeremy. I feel, watch any alcohol, marijuana, or blood sugar dysregulation. Uh, I knew when I went into it, I was like, okay, we're going to have a conversation here because Seven of Cups is pipe dreams or a feeling that one is all over the place. And when I
Hmm.
go into this energy, I often find people have diabetes or they're spaced out or they're not getting adequate protein. It's not a good feeling. So, um, overwhelmed and stuck, but also I
Yeah.
feel like too much stimulation is happening to me when I go into this. I feel that you're kind of here, there, and everywhere, and I need to start cutting cords. At too many, you have too much stuff coming in, and not enough stuff. Look at this. I'd be curious to see what Chuck is seeing, but I'm
Well,
also
yeah.
getting that Nine of Wands, which is a feeling of kind of like stuck or afraid to like look at the news. And again, you're going to have to go on a news diet and begin thinking about who are you? What do you truly want or need in order? What is your gift to the world? What is your gift to the world and how can I get it out to the world? Because this is also somebody who's thinking about the great beyond. And I have a feeling you could be leaving the United States. I've been seeing this with a lot of people where they're just feeling like
Big trend
they
toward
want
that.
to go somewhere like it's looking really solid for me in Georgia, right? You could find yourself, but but I'm also feeling attracted to other parts of the country, right? Kyoto, buying property in Kyoto. So,
Mhm.
but you do have a
I've
three
always
of
seen
wands
you.
coming in
Yeah.
your yeah, you saw me there too. There's a lot of
Yeah.
opportunities there for me. So the point is that three of wands is moving into ninth position. This is somebody who may find that part of what he needs to do is to get out of the United States. I can tell you that, he's got Thailand over him. I just got a message. His guides want him to go to Thailand. Yeah. I've got the feed in now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got karma in Thailand. So that's interesting. Okay, so they're saying that everything would go better for you economically, financially, emotionally, and spiritually if you'd leave the country. Too much stuff where you're at. You may want to be looking at Thailand. Look at this. His final outcome, three of wands. He goes over the water and he winds up economically fine with a nine of pentacles. Life is easier outside the United States. Everything is 50% off or more. You can get a beautiful condo on the water outside of Bangkok for $400 a month. Why live here?
Yeah.
If it's struggling and if you're feeling that way, maybe you need to get out of here for a while.
Yeah.
And that seems to be he's actually been called to Asia, but specifically Thailand. I can see it.
It's so interesting. I didn't want to interrupt you if you're still reading, but
No,
the
I'm
two
done.
dominant cards I got, he feels locked in, a sense of restriction right now. The competition card, which shows the tug of war
Yeah.
going on, the opposing forces pulling back and forth. You alluded to that about how he feels like he's being pulled in different directions, overwhelmed. I got that he very much needs rest. He needs peace right now. In fact,
Well,
his survival depends on this.
he used to be a Buddhist priest. I mean, Thailand. He has karma in Thailand. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. But I was getting that definitely this is what he needs. This is, you picked up on that, but he's being called for finding inner peace, finding rest. It's part of his survival. And then the last card, new beginnings, going through a new doorway. So all of this reflects in with what you were saying. But I just found that particularly interesting, that his current state, the competition, the restriction, that sense of feeling. And sometimes we feel that way just before we're about to have a big breakthrough. It's like, we talked about how the universe speaks to us and it gets louder and louder and louder to where we can't stand it anymore and we have to take action. And that's where I feel like he's on the verge of that.
Yeah. Well, I think he's a Theravedic priest. I think that he's been a Theravedic priest in many incarnations and he's been being sent to Asia. Philippines is also great, but I feel like there's something going on with him in Thailand. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. From Deb, P9J. My sister and I have not spoken in 2 years. Will we ever talk again? And if so, when?
It's difficult. Do you want to speak with your sister?
Yeah.
That's the other
good
thing.
First question to ask yourself. What do you honestly want?
So they're asking you to, be in a good spiritual place. I'm feeling you doing a lot of deep spiritual work over this question. You come as the high priestess. So you are a compassionate person, and you have a deep spiritual connection. I feel like your sister is hurt and bruised, and the way that she deals with being hurt and bruised is that she pushes people away and then she goes off and she just lives her life. And it's a feeling of being shut out of this situation. That's how it feels to me. And you two are very similar, but in the sense that you have big personalities. You and your sister have big personalities. Look at this. She comes as the high priestess, deep river, she is the guru. And then her sister is off dealing with her house, her life, her business. And you have this love here. But look at her sister. Her sister's like this brilliant artist. So I get the impression that her and her sister are just these two very powerful women.
Yeah.
And they both,
butting horns. Almost.
yeah. The high priestess is in conflict with the empress. And so they're both very powerful people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my cards often will show the present circumstances, and right off the bat, I got despair, a sense of loss. There's a shadow looming over both of you because of the situation. There's even shame. And when I got the exhaustion card, I think you both are just so tired from this. You want a solution. It's like, this can't keep going on. There is exhaustion from this. And I got that your higher purpose here is to focus on both of you having a sense of grace, both of you being willing to compromise, look at the unconditional love, look at the truth. But basically, the higher purpose is unconditional love here. Focus on the unconditional love in the situation on both your parts. And I think you'll be surprised how far you will go if you open up.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I would love any message I or my daughters need to hear.
This is for AppMom5209. AppMom5209. Message for for my daughter. Or my daughters need to hear. Okay. We'll do 2 or 3 more, and then we're going to call it a night.
I just go by what jumps out. 2 cards jumped right out at the top. Discipline and priorities. Discipline and priorities. I need to go a little further with this, but I wanted to just say that up front. Those were the 2 that were predominant.
What I get when I go into this energy is that you have a lot of love for your daughters. You have this tremendous love, and you cannot live your daughters' lives for them. And you may see them making mistakes that you once made, getting involved with the wrong person, getting abused, having their heart broke. These are the lessons of life. And one of your daughters could be potentially in a relationship that's codependent, addictive, or toxic. And that could be kind of making you worry. And I do see this love that you have. The hardest thing you're going to have to do as a mom is to let them learn their lessons on their own. Continue to meditate. I know you worry, but the spiritual message here is you can't do the work for them. They have to do the work themselves. It's just as you had to do the work. Continue in your meditation practice. It's vital to you. And regarding challenges with your daughters, know that everything is going to be okay with them, whatever challenges or difficulties they're having in their love life and in their relationships. They will come out of it. They will learn, and they will be. They're going to be okay.
I think that ties in with the discipline and the priorities. Yeah.
Did you have something else you wanted to add to yours?
I think you've said it. I didn't go further with my cards. It was just interesting to me that those 2 cards jumped right out of the deck. They're discipline and priorities. And I think you elaborated upon it very well. That's why I just stopped and I didn't go further with my own cards. From MAM10-M3M. Hello, Chuck and Whimsy. May I please ask for what my purpose right now is most connected to? What will help me get to the next step of my evolution and growth? Shuffling the cards.
Your evolution and growth at this time is to give yourself time and to do everything that you can at this time to heal yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. And we just feel like a broken record. Cancel out the noise, that which doesn't serve you, that does not help you take care of yourself and make yourself a greater instrument of good in the world should be removed. Again, you are an instrument of good, and you were brought to this world to be an instrument of good. Any stimulation or noise that prevents you from doing your work must be removed. And
Mhm.
you must instead focus on those things that are going to help you be in optimal performance, in optimal function. Your base card right now is the Ten of Swords. So I feel this sense of just being wiped out physically and emotionally, like I was betrayed to the point where I had the crap beaten out of me. It's like, what can I do to help? Well, the first thing you can do to help is you must acknowledge that you are in a state of the Ten of Swords, and you must begin that slow unwinding of how you got to that place, cut out the noise and focus on self care and taking care of yourself.
Mhm.
That is the best thing you can do if you truly want to serve others. Recognize also that love is available in the universe,
Yeah.
that the universe wants to assist you on this path, and trust that. Understand that you can return back to your path, but it must begin first with self care and recognizing how deeply you have been harmed. The other thing that they're saying is that you will emerge highly educated from this challenge, and you will present as the high priestess. So
Mhm.
you're receiving love and good stars over a great tragedy. It's like your body, mind, and spirit is completely wiped out. And how do we unwind everything that led to this point and get you back to self care, being balanced? Remember what Chuck and I have said today. Self care is a full time job. Just getting your
Mhm.
blood pressure down is a full time job. So
Sure
know
is.
that to be true, that your first priority is to self care. If you want to be an instrument of good and service to the world,
Mhm.
you've got to become a functioning person. But as you unwind this and begin to put all of your attention into healing your life, know that what emerges will be an incredibly wise,
Yeah.
powerful, brilliant person that's going to do amazing things in the world and share that wisdom with the world.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because one of my earliest cards I got was exhaustion, which usually means a person who is just very overwhelmed mentally, physically, emotionally. You elaborated upon that. This is a person who very much needs to move toward their purpose, stick to their priorities. Um, my last card is quite positive and ties in with what you said, but I'm getting that when I got the compromise card, it may mean doing some things that are not necessarily pleasurable to you, fun, may take a lot of discipline, changing your lifestyle, your ways of being. So you may feel like you're making compromises within your own self. But my last card was the new life. New life, very positive. And I think that fully concurs with what you said, Whimsy. This is someone who's, if he does the work, he does what he needs to do, he works through these things.
She
He's
or
got a
he, we don't know the
Oh, I'm
gender.
so sorry. Forgive me. I don't know why I said he. Forgive me for that. But I'm getting that there is a payoff, a very positive payoff for the work you do if you do this. But it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. It is going to be some compromise for right now. You're going to feel that way, but you're moving towards your new life.
Mhm.
From Jennifer Petunia 7, is my partner being faithful? Online or in person. Together 27 years this November. Wow. Uh,
Well, what I would say is if you're starting to have a weird feeling,
Listen,
of
but let's
course, I was
see.
shocked when I found out that my ex-husband had a girlfriend. She was living across the street.
Across the girl
He
next
was
door,
so
huh?
devastated that he was so upset when I walked out the door. He cried and then he went across the street and knocked on her door. Yeah. So
Mm.
sometimes we can be like the last to know, like, you got to be kidding me, you know?
Well,
Uh,
sometimes, if I may
yeah.
say, we don't want to know. Some people don't
Mm.
want to know, and they will block it out.
All right. Is
But
Jennifer's partner cheating on her?
whoa, this is
So, King of Cups. Well, he feels like when I go into his energy, like he feels he did a pretty good job as a partner. He feels like he played by the rules, but looked like he got a little something, something on the side there. He's got a lover's card, but he used to be the greatest guy in the world. He feels like he did his duty. I feel like I did my duty. I was the
Hmm.
perfect partner for many years, and now I feel like it's time for me to get a little freak on. Also, you
Hmm.
can see here the third half. Look at that, Three of Swords. A third person comes in, lovers.
Yeah.
I think she's very upset, and there's a real possibility Jennifer could divorce him. I'm sorry, but these cards are not looking good. Leave the broken man. This is looking pretty bad, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I these are the kind of questions I don't like answering because when
Yeah,
you get that initial hunch, and it's like, please, I want to be wrong on this, but I pulled cards, but I also just got the old pendulum out, did a yes or no, and when I asked, is your partner being faithful? I got to know. I got to know. But I also got cards like shadow, shame. And for you, you're facing some big decisions right now. The partnerships and love card, I think, just refers to your marriage itself, your relationship, and also your family, how your family's being affected by this. And also that sense of what you said, Whimsy, he may feel, well, I've taken care of my family, I've
that's what how he
taken care of
feels.
my relationship. But you, Jennifer, you've got some big decisions here because I did get shadow, shame, and then I got a no on his being faithful. And that's normally something I am very reluctant to say. But you concurred before I did, Whimsy.
Well, it's just a feeling. I feel as him, like played by the rules for 27 years, and now I don't want to play by the rules anymore. I want to break some rules. I don't think he thought this out. I don't think that he thought she would leave. I think
Yeah.
I don't think he realizes that his entire world could come crashing down just because he
Yeah.
flirted with somebody online.
Right.
But you have this loving husband that I did everything by the books, and then he goes into, "Hey, who are you?" And then he starts doing this flirting, and this can be a third party that comes in and breaks you up. Three of Swords, and then Five of Pentacles is poverty, but in a relationship, she's abandoning him. She's this
Hmm.
broken guy. Get the hell away from me! I'm not paying off your credit cards, right?
Hmm.
Been there, done that. The
Hmm.
final clarification, Two of Cups, could be that he comes back apologetic and tries to save the marriage.
Hmm.
But to be honest with you, this could end with Jennifer walking out the door. Out the door.
Decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just see here where Jennifer said, oh boy, my gut is never wrong. And Jennifer, I am so sorry with all my heart. I don't like being the bearer of news like that.
Yeah.
That is-
So I think that the takeaway is to trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Chuck and Whimsy. May I please ask for what?
Oh.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
did we do that?
we already
We
did
did
that
that
one.
one. Okay. Oh.
Okay. Let's see. Are we just about should I okay, we'll do one more.
One more. Okay.
Should I keep here's M Jurst.
Imgers. Yeah.
Should I keep my 1930 small bungalow in Boston area and continue to try and restore it or sell and move where? Well, that's interesting. I
Yeah.
mean, do you have a place you want to go?
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah.
haven't pulled cards yet. I just did the pendulum and I got maybe, not yes, not no, too much indecision right now, right off the top. It's like, it's not a clear answer, but I want to see what the cards are going to say.
She's being very practical. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
getting that this person's being very logical, but that place gave you a lot of comfort. You know, I
Mhm.
feel this place gave you a lot of comfort, but can you do a little traveling before you make this decision? Because I feel you're going to be doing some traveling and this is a desire to travel. But I think the comfort of home is something you have to really take into consideration
Mhm.
as well. No
Yeah.
matter where you go, it should have the comfort of home.
Yeah.
She's going to make really solid with that emperor. The sun is coming out, aha moment. She wants a spiritual place, but look, she's got a chariot moving in. I hate to move. I love Portland, Oregon, but you know, there's a difference between can continue to pay 1,500 a month, or I can move to Georgia and buy my own place for 50K and be done with this nightmare. So, you know, you also have to look at what's going to benefit you, look at prices, etc., and find out where you need to be happy. but it is leaning towards potentially you leaving. I would have to say with these cards.
Yeah. I got that very much in between the yes and the no, and that could even be picking up the energy of you, meaning im just, vacillating. When I mean vacillating, being torn between, do I move? Do I stay? You love your home, but yet you want to, part of you wants to go. And I got that with the pendulum, but I also got, again, the decisions card. That's kind of an obvious one right there, but you are going through some heavy decisions right now. This is weighing very much on you, but I'm also getting, you're going to get an epiphany of some kind. An answer is going to come to you. It's going to be clearer in time. And I like what Whimsy said about, why don't you travel for now? Why don't you explore different places? See what resonates with you. See what's doable. What would it entail before you make a rash decision? It's interesting, this compromise card came up again. It may mean just that. Compromise could mean just looking at all the different factors and making an intelligent decision here. But I see you finding the right balance. And I also see you, again, I got this new life card again, just like before. So it feels positive. It feels like you're not going to go wrong either way. And I feel really good in your decisions. An epiphany is going to come to you. You are going to get the answer eventually. And it might be through exploration, as Whimsy suggested.
I want to apologize for those people if we didn't get to your reading. We'll be back on Thursday. We usually start doing our blitzes at around, usually we try to get to them by 6 p.m. Hopefully we can go earlier. It's just that the self-care, we really want to go into this with people.
Yeah.
We cannot stress enough that we want you to marry yourself. We want you to give.
I love that.
I betroth myself to you, O Lord, my God. I betroth myself to you in loving kindness. In the Sikh tradition, the Wahi Guru, the inner guru, exists inside of you. The way to get to God is through the heart. It's through the self. And anything and everything you can do to feed that and nurture that will only make that voice stronger. And so we say again, to save a life is to save the world entire. Let us begin with saving your life. All right,
Save
Chuck.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything you'd like to say before we close out? How people can reach you if they need to come in for a medical consult or consultation?
My mind is still on some
a tarot reading.
Readings we've been doing here. But yes, let me refocus here. You can reach me at dransfieldchuck@gmail.com. And you can contact me if you'd like a personal reading or if you would like me to do artwork for you. I'm very good at reading soul energy within photographs. I can read eyes, often get messages for people through portraits that I do for people. I have my channel, Chuck's Captivating Chronicles, my show on Mondays, Chuck's Captivating Chat. I do readings on there also, and I also do chat. I received messages from the other side. Last week, I had a big one from Amelia Earhart. Check it out. She had some very interesting things to say. Some things that really
very unusual. She's a very unusual woman. I felt
very
connected with her. Yes,
soul.
I was.
She came to me. I wasn't seeking her. She came to me. She wanted to talk.
I felt that she was very unique human being.
Extraordinary. But she more or less, she didn't exactly want to say what had happened because part of her was taking a little bit of delight in the fact that she did leave us with this great riddle, this great enigma, possibly one of the greatest puzzles of the 20th century. And also her husband, G.P. Putman, was quite the showman who used to manipulate that type of thing to sell books and magazines. And so she was finding some irony in that, but she did admit to me what ultimately happened. And, there were all these crazy conspiracy things about she was captured by the Japanese and put her in an internment camp. She was a spy for Roosevelt and all that. And she was basically, no.
I think she just went into the water and it was a distress call and then boom,
Well, the popular theory is that her plane crashed in the ocean. She was saying,
I think that probably is what happened.
Well, she said to me, it was, at the time it was called Gardner Island. It has a different name now. She was telling me that's where she landed, and no food, no water, unbearable heat. She just said it was a gritty, ugly human death, but it was nothing sensational. Like all these theories, like there was one theory that she escaped and she went back to America and then she became a housewife in New Jersey. She was a spy for Roosevelt. The Nazis shot her down. The Japanese captured her. And she was like, oh, please. No, none of that.
Yeah. Wow.
So anyway, that's what I got.
So if people would like to contact you for a reading, how do they find you?
Yeah, dransfieldchuck@gmail.com, or you can go on Chuck's Captivating Chronicles, my channel.
I'm hoping you'll get a Booksy. I hope you'll get a Booksy set up so people can just book you through Booksy directly, and it makes things a lot easier for you.
I will.
Yeah, it's not that expensive. It's worth it. All right. If you're trying to reach me, Dr. Whimsy Anderson, a medical intuitive, naturopathic doctor, and psychic remote viewer extraordinaire, and you need to come in for a consult, you can do so by contacting me through Bookseed, or you can just Google it, Dr. Whimsy Anderson. Takes you to my Booksy pages. All that information is below this video. Okay, we are out of here. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you. We will be back on Thursday with our continuing series on how to heal your life. Like we said, be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. And we will see you next time, everyone. Thank you all for your love and support of this channel. We sincerely appreciate you. Thank you so much. Right. Bye-bye.